Because again, they may just want to just keep everything as low effort as possible and just be like, hey, Xbox team, make this run better, and that's all we care about.
That's true. That's true.
Um,
That does seem on brand for Microsoft.
Also, they would have to then, if they wanted to do that, they would have to change how it works for the Windows Store, and I don't know if they'd want to do that across their desktop as well.
Right. One thing that did annoy me about the announcement is so the what I stayed up for the State of Play trailers. I stayed up for Summer Game Fest. I skipped the Xbox showcase. So like, oh, there's gonna be nothing in the Xbox showcase. It's fine. And then in the fucking the Xbox handheld bullshit, we see a trailer for Silk Song. Like what? How? What? Why? Why is this the way you're doing it?
Oh,
Honestly, I would not have been surprised at this point if somewhere else in the trailer they're just like, hey, you know what? Here, have Kingdom Hearts 4. Why not?
so people to just like, oh, we're getting trailers for Silk Song. Silk Song's still not out. Oh, by the way, it's now going to be coming with this ROG Xbox pre-bundled.
I did see some like confusion.
Just weird.
I saw a lot of confusion about that. People were like, oh, it's a launch title for this device. Like, no, it's a computer. It's a.
I mean, they could try to do it. They could make it Xbox exclusive, and it partners with that.
That would be so insane if they did. Well, okay, it's confirmed to be on Game Pass. They showed a little Game Pass logo in their trailer when they were doing it.
I mean, it makes sense to be on Game Pass.
But if they released it, if they released it on Game Pass, the Windows Store, and not Steam, that would be so fucked.
It would also just be a complete 180 for Microsoft, because they're now going all in on, hey, we're going to make our exclusive no longer exclusive. We're going to release them on PlayStation and on Steam. No, except for this one. This one we're going to keep.
Yeah. I kind of hope they go back through some of their backlog and release those games on Steam, because there's some good racing games in there's some older Forza games that are actually pretty good that are locked to the Xbox and locked to the Windows Store, because they've gone and released Horizon 5 and the latest Forza Motorsport, which is on Steam, but the rest of them, good luck, have fun. Enjoy.
I have not played a racing game since PS2 game.
Did my Discord die for a second? We good?
Oh no.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. I was saying that I haven't played a racing game since the PS2 GameCube era, which was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 on the PS2.
That, of the Need for Speed games, that is a random one to go with. Sure.
Yeah. It's the one that came with it.
Fair
I
enough.
got it used with a bunch of games. That was the one it came with. Apparently, the PS2 version is the only good version of that game. Every other platform's version sucks. They are just almost completely different games.
I look at Hot Pursuit 2, the first post is, why do people say Hot Pursuit 2 on PC is bad? Yeah, that makes sense. Apparently the PC version, it has input delay and the controls are like really floaty. That's sure. I love the days of not having Steam input. That was great.
Yeah. And then also Need for Speed Underground. Was it 1 or 2 on the GameCube? I think it was Underground 1. I want to say.
Also a really good game.
Did not get very far in that because my brother and I were idiots and couldn't figure out how to progress. So we just did split screen and raced each other with just the default cars all the time. Which does not help your progression at all.
No. Oh, man, I've not played Underground 1 in so long. I've played a lot more of Underground 2, but 1 I kind of want to go back to.
Yeah, those were fun. I had a lot of fun memories with those, but never played another racing game since then.
I kind of gotten back into racing games recently when I played Tokyo Extreme Racer, and I kind of want to go back and play some of the older games that people have like said are really good, like Forza Motorsport 4, like Horizon 1. I've never finished Gran Turismo 4. I had it on PS2. When I was a kid, I couldn't finish the license exams, so I couldn't really progress very far.
My thing with racing games is that I don't like the simulator style. I like the arcadey ones.
Yeah.
Where you're doing stuff that just like, it's kind of unrealistic, but also it's a video game, so why the fuck not?
Yeah. No, I get that. I do feel like that's a problem with like modern racing games where a lot of them do seem to be like at least in the AAA space, there's not really any good arcade races. A lot of the arcade stuff.
No, they're all not racing games. They're racing simulators.
Yeah. There are some like a lot of the racing YouTubers are starting to call this like the era of indie races because there's a lot of really good indie racing games coming out that are going back to that route of like arcade or more simcade where it's still like partially simulation, but like, you know, you can do stupid shit as well.
Yeah, no, I like the simcade as well. I just don't want it to try to be like as accurately realistic as possible.
Right.
If I wanted to drive a real car, I'd go drive a real car.
Right. No,
playing a video
get
game.
It. I get it. No, I don't know. I feel I've talked about this plenty of times on stream. I kind of feel the same way about like just general games looking like real life. And this is a real problem that you're starting to see, especially more so with the UE5 stuff, where like there is a UE5. I see a trailer for a game, and do you remember back in like the early 2010s when you saw an indie game made in Unity, and you're like, that's a Unity game. Just like, you don't need to see anything else. Like, one frame, that's a Unity game. I feel the exact same way about UE5 games now.
Yeah. The difference now is that all those early Unity games had the same sort of cartoony style to them. And now all the UE5 games is like a certain type of realistic that you can just immediately tell.
Yeah, there's something about their lighting engine. There's something about the way they handle geometry that's just...
The look is very cinematic, even if like the camera work is not cinematic. But like the color grading and lighting looks very cinematic at all times.
It's not to say that every UE5 game is bad. It's just a lot of...
They look the same is the problem.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. It's just they look the same and I want variety now.
Well, there are games that do look different. Like Black Myth Wukong, I'm pretty sure was a UE5 game. Maybe it was... Maybe actually... Hold on. I know there's...
Even that, it doesn't look different enough. You can still, at a glance... Oh, it's UE. Just without even a second thought.
Let's see. Engine... Oh, yeah, no, that was UE5. Yeah, okay. I thought it was... I thought it was in development long enough to be UE4.
I think the main problem now is that games have a choice of art style when they're being made. And photorealism is an art style.
It is.
They all keep using the exact same photorealistic art style. It's like, change it up some. Take everything you've done, keep it exactly the same, but like exaggerate some proportions. Change the shader from the realistic one.
Yeah.
That's it.
What I do think is the case is now that there's not really limitations on... Like, you know, on the PS2, you could not make a game that was photorealistic. You had to work within those limitations. I would say probably late PS3, 360 is when we started seeing games that were truly photorealistic. And then obviously into PS4.
Especially late PS3. Because, like, when The Last of Us came out, you compare game to the first PS3 game, it's like there was a generational leap by the end of the PS3's lifespan.
Yeah, that is actually a fantastic example.
I still stand by, to this day, that both of the Last of Us remasters look exactly the same as the first one on PS3. It is slightly different lighting and slightly different textures, and that's it.
I think you should go back and have a look at it. There is a... It's a little bit more noticeable than you would think. It's not super noticeable, but it's just... there's like a bit more
Not
dirt.
that it looks the same, it's that the improvement is not worth the change.
Sure. I do think the PS3 and the PS4 version do look basically identical. The PS5 one, part of the problem with the PS5 one, part of the improvement with the PS5 one is they did also change some models around. So, like, they redid some of the face models so they kind of look different, even if they're not higher quality. Like, there's more of a difference there.
Yeah, I'm looking at a screenshot of PS3, PS4, and PC.
Mm-hmm.
And PS3 and PS4 basically look the same with slightly higher resolution textures.
Yeah.
PC, it's like, oh, it's a different model.
Yeah. That's the PS5 version.
It doesn't look better, it just looks slightly different.
Yeah, that's the PS5 version as well then.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm surprised we didn't see an announcement for another remake of The Last of Us. I really am surprised.
Didn't we have an announcement for Last of Us Part 2 remaster?
I don't know. Maybe
Was that
that's
a while
thing.
ago? Yeah, no, The Last of Us, just play the fucking PS3 or PS4 version.
They really want you to care about their remasters. It's just like they hit gold once.
Keep remastering games that don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, you've got some great old games that you should remaster. All right, so we're gonna make a remastered version of Horizon Zero Dawn.
That I think is the worst.
The game came out like 4 years ago.
Yeah, that is by far the worst example. Wasn't it a PS4 game originally?
Yep.
What?
And PC.
Like, I get... Okay,
it was already on PC.
I get having a PS5 release and have, like, updated textures, but calling it a remaster? Like, no. Stop. Just,
they
like...
actually remade the game from the ground up.
Like, I get...
And the final result barely looks different.
Yeah, I get taking the PC release and then putting that on PS5. That makes sense. That doesn't.
Yeah, it's just like, why? Why did you do this?
Mm-hmm. So
looked at them side by side. It's just like, the lighting's better.
Mm-hmm. Great.
That's about it.
Speaking of remasters, how long until we get an announcement for a P5 remaster?
At the current rate, it'll still be before Persona 6.